Senator Paul said that that your vote was a bailout for Alaska at the expense of the rest of the country.
Oh my God.
That's what Senator Paul said.
This budget bill that was passed it was passed by the House, sent to the Senate made changes to the bill, and a bill that gets passed by both houses and sent to the president's desk has to be the same bill that was passed by both houses. So they've now sent it back to the House for rewriting or matching, and then it might have to go back to the Senate. We'll see if there's any changes made. But the way that it was passed, it was effectively Lisa Murkowski from Alaska, someone who's considered kind of a moderate Republican. We can dispense with that. This is why I challenge Democrats in leadership when they say extreme MAGA Republicans. Hakeem Jeffries is fond of using the phrase extreme MAGA Republicans. They're all extreme MAGA Republicans. They all are. If you vote for Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill that's going to rob 16 million Americans of their health insurance, that's going to cut $300 billion from food assistance for children, you're an extreme MAGA Republican. And Lisa Murkowski was the deciding vote. J.D. Vance was the deciding vote, but she without Lisa Murkowski's vote, there wouldn't have been any position for J.D. Vance to be voting because he's the president of the Senate. Anyway, there's all this stuff. I say most of this for foreign watchers who don't understand our very bizarre system. So Lisa Murkowski, I'm going to read this headline from CNBC and kind of her reasoning for voting for it, because she got carve-outs. She got the things that apply to the rest of the United States, she worked into the bill that don't apply. Not all, some of the dangerous stuff, she got a time limit on. Rather than just voting no on the whole thing because it's dangerous and it's going to hurt Alaskans, she had carve-outs for like a little bit of time and then acts like she really is a champion for the people of Alaska. Here's the headline from CNBC. GOP Senator Murkowski cast crucial vote on Trump's mega bill after getting key carve-out. Bullet point 1. Murkowski of Alaska cast a crucial vote for President Donald Trump's massive tax bill, putting Senate Republicans over the top to pass it with a tie-breaking vote. That's the J.D. Vance element of it I was talking about. But before she voted yes, the senator secured a key carve-out for her state, exempting Alaska from strict new food stamp rules for 2 years. And then finally, do I like this bill? No, but I tried to take care of Alaska's interests, she said. Now, Rand Paul has been a critic of this. Rand Paul, there's one thing you can guarantee him, well, not even guarantee, he's still, a MAGA clown, a bootlicking sycophant for Donald Trump, but he is a no on this bill. There's a few, notably from Kentucky. I don't know what's in the water there with some of their elected officials, but Thomas Massie in the House, also from Kentucky, also voting no. This is what he had to say. And then it sets me up for playing this clip of Ryan Nobles from CNN, who tracked her down in the hallway and had a conversation with her where she pauses, stopped, and I don't know if her brain glitches out or she's like trying to man up on him and challenge him. What are you going to do? She stares him down for 10 seconds before she says a word. But his question is directly in response to, predicated on the statement of Rand Paul about this carve-out. And this is what Rand Paul said. Here's the quote. There was a time in which they had to make a decision, dealing with me and reducing the debt ceiling or giving pork and subsidies to Alaska. They meaning Republican leadership, chose to add more pork and subsidies for Alaska to secure that. That's what he said. And that's where this clip jumps off, where Ryan Nobles from CNN is asking Senator Lisa Murkowski, the non-extreme MAGA Republican who just passed on. This could have been ended right here. But instead, she chose to vote yes. And now she's ashamed of it, trying to run away, but she couldn't. Here's Ryan Nobles asking about this.
Senator Paul said that your vote was a bailout for Alaska at the expense of the rest of the country.
Oh my God.
That's what Senator Paul said.
My question was easy.
Senator, we've got the...
I didn't say it, ma'am. I'm just asking for your response.
My response is I have an obligation to the people of the state of Alaska. And I live up to that every single day. I fight for my state's interests, and I make sure that Alaskans are understood. I work hard to take care of a state that has more unique situations, more unique people, and it's just different. And so when people suggest that federal dollars go to one of our 50 states in a, quote, bailout, I find that offensive. I advocated for my state's interests. I will continue to do that, and I will make no excuses for doing that. Do I like this bill? No, because I tried to take care of Alaska's interests. But I know that in many parts of the country, there are Americans that are not going to be advantaged by this bill. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that we moved through an artificial deadline, an artificial timeline to produce something to meet a deadline rather than to actually try to produce the best bill for the country. But when I saw the direction that this is going, you can either say, I don't like it, and not try to help my state, or you can roll up your sleeves.
Listen, Lisa, taking care of Alaska's interests would have been voting no for this. Why is it you don't like the bill? I'll wait. Not quite 10 seconds like you stared down Ryan Nobles in that time frame. But why? Why'd you vote yes at all if you hate it? You could have said no, put an end to it, given decent, reasonable people a little bit of leverage to actually negotiate on this thing. Instead, you bent the knee to Donald Trump. This is the same woman who has expressed fear that people, she has said, her colleagues in the Republican caucus are afraid of Donald Trump. And I don't mean like electorally afraid of being primaried, afraid of opponents being flush with cash in a race against them. Safety. Their families are afraid. They are afraid for the safety and well-being of their family to go against Donald Trump. And here she is. A coward. Staring down in some weird intimidation tactic a CNN journalist, while acting like she did the right thing for her state, and while admitting that she hates the bill that she voted for that is absolutely going to harm Alaskans. So for 2 years, the SNAP benefit, the $300 billion cuts to SNAP benefits, food stamps, children will be harmed. Hungry kids will be harmed. But only for 2 years, they get a carve out. And then after that, yeah, you know what? See you later. Be hungry, kids. Is that benefiting Alaskans? Lisa Murkowski. Ghouls. These people are disgusting perverters of the American system. And they know what they're doing. She knows what she's doing. And the money spigot remains on. She's safe for another election cycle until she steps out of line for Donald Trump. And this might not even save her anyway. Anyway, what do you think? I would appreciate your feedback here. Let's have a conversation in the comments. You can comment below. That'll help the algorithm to share this content and this channel and its content with new possible subscribers. I would appreciate that very much. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. That's a big deal. And you can also call my voicemail line and leave me a fewer than 3-minute voicemail, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. If you want to help support the work, you can become a channel member, $2 a month. Click the join button below. You can go to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. We need to call your congressperson, call your senator, 202-224-3121. That's the number. Plug it into your phone, save it into your phone. We need citizen action here. Anyway, I love and appreciate you. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. I want to hear from you if you're from Alaska. Take care of one another.